Good evening. I call to order this regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission, and as a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.gov site for viewing by the general public. As tonight is the first meeting of 2025, we will begin with the selection of the chairperson and vice chairperson. Are there any nominations for the chairperson?
I nominate Bonnie Duffy.
I'll second.
Any other nominations? Motion's been made to select Bonnie Duffy as chairperson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Are there any nominations for the vice chairperson?
I'll nominate Becky Randall.
Second.
Any other nominations? I have a motion on the floor for the vice chairman for Becky Randall. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now that the officers have been selected, we will move on to the regular meetings, beginning with the Joint Planning Commission meeting with Minnehaha County and the City of Del Rapids. To continue, I will need a motion to recess the Minnehaha County Planning Commission meeting.
Motion to recess.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, February 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. Okay, first on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are perceived to be non-controversial and meet all of the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there are any issues or comments from the Planning Commission or the audience. If any member of the Planning Commission or the audience would like to be heard on the item, please raise your hand and the item will be moved to the regular agenda to allow you to address the Commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commission with the conditions recommended by staff. And Cindy will not be able to vote on this one as well. Item number 2 is approval in the minutes of the November 25th, 2024 meeting. Item number 3 is conditional use permit 25-01 to allow outdoor commercial storage on the property legally described as the west 772.8 feet, the north 411.9 feet, the south half, government lot 2, southwest quarter. There is an exception of H-3 and an exception, Section 7, Township 102 North, Range 49 West, Mapleton Township. Petitioners and the property owner is CNR Properties, LLC, located 25782 472nd Avenue.
Yes, Chair, staff would like to remove this item from the consent agenda and put it on the regular agenda.
Okay. Item number 3, conditional use permit 25-03 to transfer one building eligibility from the southwest quarter, northeast quarter, to the southeast quarter, northeast quarter, all within the south half, northeast quarter. There is an exception of Tract 1, Anderson Addition, and of exception, Section 29, Township 101 North, Range 47 West. That is in Valley Springs Township. The petitioner is Doug Anderson. Property owner is Joyce G. Anderson Family Trust, located 4.5 miles east of Sioux Falls. Anyone from the commission or the audience or the staff wish to be heard on this item? Okay, item number 5, conditional use permit, 25-04, to amend CUP 22-72 to remove the portion of the conditional use permit for a manufactured home on the properties legally described as the west half, vacant access road and tract 4, lot 7, Bauman subdivision, and the east half, vacant access road and the tract 35, lot 7, Bauman subdivision, all in section 21, Township 101 North, Range 51 West, that is in Wall Lake Township. Petitioner and owner is the East Shore Place Vacations LLC, located 26557 East Shore Place. Anyone from the commission or the audience wish to be heard on this item? Okay, commissioners.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve items 2, 4, and 5.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. If your item has been approved, you're free to go. We'll move back to item number 3. Mason?
Yes. Good evening, Commissioners. Mason Steffen from the County Planning Office. I'll just make this brief, I guess, since I was the one who pulled it off of the consent agenda. So after the writing of the staff report and sending it out to the petitioner brought up condition number, let's see what the actual condition number is. Number 5, that an 8-foot privacy fence shall be constructed along the entire north property line. The petitioner brought up to staff that they would like to see that condition amended to be trees instead of a privacy fence. And in reviewing the conditional use permit that was approved on the property to the south, so if you look at this is renter storage here to the south. They were approved with a condition requiring trees be planted along this north property line. And that was approved when this existing property here, the subject property, was a residential acreage. So the property that we're looking at tonight used to be a house, as you can see in this imagery, and then last year it was rezoned to C commercial, and now they're requesting the outdoor storage on the property. So I guess I don't think I'm going to probably go through the entire staff report, but I'll go through some pictures and then show maybe the suggested condition. So this is kind of the site plan. Currently, there's 2 shipping containers which have been approved through building permits on the property, and then there's some other general outdoor storage currently. And then this shows the potential future building, that warehouse building that they will build in the future, but they do not have that yet, which is why there's outdoor storage there on the property. There's the proposed condition, but I'll probably come back to that. So this is kind of looking to the northwest over to the other storage units in the area across the highway. And then this is looking to the northeast, so you can see that outdoor storage in the shipping containers, and you can see the existing shelter belt of trees that was left after this site was already graded and put the crushed asphalt down. And so some of these trees are on this property, some of these trees are the neighboring property shelter belt, but you can see that it kind of drops off there. It's kind of a high spot and drops off to the back, kind of all around it. You can see this is looking more to the southeast to the renter storage, and it drops off there. But as I mentioned in the staff report, you can see that they've already put crushed asphalt on the entire property, which is a requirement in the commercial district of the zoning ordinance, that all properties accessed off of a paved highway that are zoned commercial are required to be paved or meet hard surfacing requirements, which crushed asphalt meets that. And then this is looking directly south. Again, you can see these smaller trees that renter storage has planted. So staff is recommending approval of the conditional use permit with 6 conditions, and staff would recommend amending condition number 5 to, instead of reading an 8-foot tall privacy fence shall be constructed along the entire north property line, to what is up on the screen. So the petitioner shall submit a landscape plan to the planning department for review by February 21st, 2025. This plan shall include at least 25 evergreen coniferous trees planted along the north property line. All trees shall be kept in a live state. Any dead tree shall be replaced within 1 growing season. So this is kind of a blend of what the renter storage had to do. Renter storage was, they were required to have 1 row of trees along the property line, and their trees are spaced around every 30 feet. So the 25, this property, Renter Storage has around 20 trees. This property line's a little longer, so that's where the 25 came from. And then it being submit a landscaping plan as opposed to they didn't submit anything before this meeting. But for staff, we can approve that administratively, whether there's more trees, whether the petitioner thinks there should be more trees here and less trees here. They don't necessarily need to be spaced 30 feet. Maybe they are put more of the trees in the middle here to block the house more and less trees on the side. So that's kind of the point of that, is to give them some flexibility on where to plant the trees. And then the reason for the February 21st date is that is the deadline for the March Planning Commission meeting. So if they do not submit that landscape plan to us by the February 21st, we could then, if you approve it tonight, recall their conditional use permit to the March Planning Commission meeting, where we would say they're not meeting their conditions, specifically this one. So kind of a long condition, but it covers a bunch of things. So that's all I have as staff. If you have questions for me, otherwise I believe the petitioner was supposed to be here tonight, so should be able to ask them questions.
Any questions for him? Did you say the petitioner is here?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. You want to step forward, sir? State your name and address.
Nick Ritter, 5105 South Sweetbriar Drive.
You're aware of the condition change, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I was the one who actually had sent Mason the email after we had received the letter. We had a few conversations with staff, and they had recommended this new stipulation instead of a fence, which we are planning on putting a building up there eventually, which we had planned on putting trees on the north perimeter of the lot already. So really, this was really already our plan. We're just gonna do it sooner than we had anticipated. But once the ground thaws in the spring, we'd like to get those in so that they're done and taken care of.
Any questions for him? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to address this? Okay, commissioners?
Madam Chair, I move acceptance of conditional use number 25-01 with the proposed condition change of number 5 to call for a landscape plan with tree planting.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve that conditional use permit 25-01. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any old business?
Yes, I guess I'll give you an update under old business. Last Tuesday, I gave the county commission a briefing again on the comprehensive plan, the 2045 Envision plan, and asked the county commission to set the hearing date for the adoption of our comprehensive plan. It'll be on February 18th. So there'll be a hearing in front of the county commission on the 18th of February for a possible final adoption of the plan. That's it.
Okay. I guess I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.